Hello, God bless. This is Daniel Maximoff, and this is another vlog. So today I wanted to talk about abortion. Yeah, controversial topic in today's society nowadays, apparently. Anyways, today's I wanted to address it because it's been a topic that I was really wanting to talk about for a very long time, and now I finally can. So let's jump into it. So if you guys haven't noticed already, Alabama passed a very strict abortion law that prohibits the enactment of an abortion as soon as a heartbeat is detected, which should be around the 6 weeks, where the circular system has already been developed and a heartbeat is formed. And once the heartbeat, the baby cannot be aborted. So, you know, damn, Alabama. So, at the end of the day, my take on the abortion is that it is indeed murder of an unborn that does not, of an unborn baby that deserves to live and not be killed from day one. And what makes it controversial, I guess, is because, at the end of the day, we're human beings. I've seen you've seen animals treat their offsprings with love and nourishment, and at the end of the day, I've seen stray dogs with more love, more love towards their unborns than than what I'm seeing from today's feminists and what I'm seeing from today's pro-choice people, the progressives. It's just sickening, and the biggest joke being that the onboards are not exactly what I consider clumps of cells, because you see the process is faster than anybody thinks. It starts at 4 weeks, so by 4 weeks a woman can actually find out if she's pregnant or not. So you're gonna have a difficult time explaining to me how's the clumps of cells when it has a gene that differs from the mother and the father, and the baby, although the size of a puppy seed, is developing. So, and it starts up. But I think by the eighth from the 8th weeks, where 65% of abortions tends to happen, by the 8 weeks is when the baby already has a heartbeat, functioning lungs. It has developing hands. It grows from a tadpole. It starts from a puppy seed, from a tadpole, from a salamander, up until it becomes like the size of a kidney stone. So by the 8 weeks, it's a kidney stone, but that can move and has ears and lungs, intestine, a brain, And it starts up to the 12 weeks, where the baby is already formed, and that it looks like an actual baby, like a little baby, like a grown infant. So, which is fun, which is a little bit odd to me, because I don't know. There was another abortion law, the New York law, which allowed abortions to save the mother's life by around 23 weeks. Huh? Sick. 23 weeks, where the baby has practically formed. It's practically ready to be delivered by 23 weeks. It looks that formed. I couldn't, what today, this says a lot about our society, and it has a lot of self-reflecting to do, because I find it sick that an individual will support something like that. And trust me, I understand the adoption and abortion argument. At the end of the day, I would rather have them abort the kid than to murder legally, because at the end, but you see that procedures for abortion and adoption are not symmetrical. In fact, it's much cheaper in comparison to abort a kid than to adopt it, because I don't know if you guys have seen the procedures for it, and that should be addressed, because at the end of the day, I would rather adopt than abort. It's just not, and I do understand what people are coming from the incest and the rape argument, because at the end of the day, I wouldn't sleep at night knowing that a 12-year-old girl was to carry a baby long term. I wouldn't, I'm very aware. To me, a 12-year-old girl is a minor, and from her to be raped from her brother or father, to me, is incestuous and gross. And just I couldn't go for it and have her keep it long term. Even though adoption is an alternative, because at the end of the day, this is a 12-year-old girl with a petite physical body, and I cannot imagine her going through those strenuous, procedure that women go through long term. It's just I can't imagine something like that. And I get it, but then again, I have to, it's a kid having a kid. One kid lives, the other one dies. I still, even though adoption is still available, I'm still, to not allow her to have it. As I'm still in my conscious of my mind, I'm fully aware that it's a kid having a kid. So to have the kid still die, tough decision, very tough decision. And as for rape, I read on stories about people who have been conceived by rape. Eartha Kitt, for example, was conceived by rape. So you can only imagine, if Eartha Kitt was aborted, we wouldn't have gotten Yzma, we wouldn't have gotten Catwoman, we wouldn't have gotten the Santa Baby song. She wouldn't have been a mother. So go figure. Some people do, have purpose even after rape. But those are in the minority, and I guess those exceptions could be made, but it's still considered legal murder no matter the why. I just see it as that. And in today's society, I feel like we have lost our soul. Like, we don't have morality anymore, and we're in a Western civilization that once had order and proper procedures and proper aid that can tell an individual what they have inside of them, that will take this measures, because unplanned pregnancies are out of control. So if unplanned pregnancies are out of control, I guess that should be addressed as well. But because we're in the media where promiscuity and sex is praised, like wild sex is praised, let's get realistic. Even in the days of Shakespeare, sex was crazy. So it's promoted like it's all good. What precautions are we taking for unplanned pregnancies? I ask you. Are we treating it like a car accident? From once you take proper caution, during a car accident, so it won't happen again. So are we taking proper precautions? Abortion is murder, legal murder, where it desensitizes, is pretty much the same as the death penalty given to individuals, individuals in the death penalty who kind of do deserve to die because of a crime they committed which was taking the life away from another individual. But those people are guilty, while the youngborns are innocent. That's the only thing that differs. But even then, I'm against the death penalty because it's still taking, nobody should be the judge of another individual when it comes to life or death sentences. But you shouldn't give the death sentence to another individual. I'd rather the life sentence, really, when it comes to that, in that argument, because I see no purpose in the death sentence. I see no purpose to gain from in the death sentence. At the end of the day, we're human beings. So this abortion is just sick. And our society is, and this is the other thing I want to address. Guys can voice their opinions too on abortion, because it takes two to make a baby. A baby wouldn't have been formed if it wasn't for a male. So, and there's sons, there's fathers, uncles, grandfathers who would like to voice their opinions, And the biggest joke about people who say that they can't, okay, If biological men are allowed in women's sports and to compete, dominate, like the weightlifting, then guess what? Biological men can voice their opinions on abortion because they don't have an ovary and they can do something like that. Then all biological men can have their voice, can make their voice heard. And the topic of abortion, it's not a topic that should be, policed. Like only a certain people can voice their opinions on it. No, everyone should be voicing their opinion on it because it is legal murder again, and not many people favor it. And those who do favor it, I don't know sometimes where their brains are at or their hearts are at, or even though they're emotionally detached. I cannot fathom where do these people get their mindsets, because you have to be emotionally detached to think that abortion is perfectly fine, knowing the backstory of Planned Parenthood, Margaret, who was founded on killing black kids, black unborns actually. So there's a dark history behind Planned Parenthood that very few people know about, and it takes I wouldn't say it's satanic or evil, or I don't know what to describe it, but it's completely inhumane force, a dark force to you do know the dark history behind Planned Parenthood. You know what happens within a woman's body. What's the procedures for the pregnancy procedures are. Coercing people into thinking they're making the right decision when in truth they're killing purpose. They're killing lives, innocent unborn lives, offsprings that can make something of themselves, and they're killing under the pretense that they say reproductive right. Yeah, right. My goodness, God, I cannot I can't. And it starts literally at 4 weeks, and these people are calling it a parasite, clumps of cells, where they're human beings in pending development, and kind of like people who are in a coma. You wouldn't kill a person in a coma. How are you going ahead and kill an unborn that is your own flesh and blood? I can't, it's desensitizing, it's what was the symbol of taking an innocent life is, desensitizing that, which I find completely inappropriate and unacceptable, so with that being said, this is my take on that. It's sick, twisted, and I stand with Alabama, because I think Alabama, in comparison to the New York law, is much preferable. And I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate out of this, but I cannot picture an innocent human getting killed for the reason of just they are a burden, or they're going to be a burden, where their alternative exists that people choose not to take because has the procedure for adoption been presented properly? Nope. Has proper precaution been promoted so you can help not only women but men also comprehend what's going on inside the uterus? Beats me. These are the things that should be addressed, because at the end of the day, children are our future. So you're going to tell me that Westerners aborting their kids is pretty much eradicating the future. And I don't know how good that's going to turn out in a Christian nation, founded on Christian principles and and Christian values. There is withering away little by little by policies like this that are being progressives to me are straight from hell, like straight from hell. Nothing of substance. They have. That's just it. There's nothing of substance for them, and they promote the most grotesque and inhumane and anti everything they stand for. Like it's sick. So this is my take on the abortion ban, and thanks for hearing me out. God bless, and I'll see you guys very soon. God bless.